Okay.
All right.
Thank you very much again for this possibility, and welcome, Barbara.
No problem. Thank you.
Yeah. So I'll go with the shooting. I think the first question is very unexpected and surprising question, but I'm asking it anyway. So we're all tremendously excited from the 2003 because it's a new trend, hopefully, and from this Australian Open. And what do you expect from this tournament?
Well, you know, a Grand Slam tournament is always something very special. I think the excitement goes up with the fans, with the players. They want to show their best tennis, especially at the Australian Open. It's the first Grand Slam of the year. It's the happy slam. Everybody is excited, you know, and I'm expecting some big matches. I'm expecting potentially a 22nd Grand Slam title from Novak Djokovic, because I think he's very keen. Really, yeah, really looking forward to it.
Yeah. Okay, so you preponed one of my next questions about the favorites for this tournament, of course. And
well, it has to be Novak Djokovic, because he's had so much success at the Australian Open. He can finally be back as well. He is very excited to play again. I mean, we have to see how his quad feels, because he said he's had a bit of a twitch in there. So hopefully he's going to be okay. But I think he's extremely hungry for more. He wants to go down in the history books as a player who won the most Grand Slam titles, and is extremely close. I mean, the other favorite has to be Rafa Nadal as well. That's for sure. What an amazing year he's had last year. We all think, though, okay, how is he feeling, you know, physically? And if you look at the two of them, Nadal hasn't won a match at the United Cup, and then Novak Djokovic has won the tournament in Adelaide. So it's a bit of a different start, but you can never write off Rafa Nadal. I think, again, Novak, I mean, had an unbelievable year last year, considering that he was not able to play two out of the 4 Grand Slam events, and then Wimbledon he wins and he doesn't get any points, and look at where his ranking is. So it's phenomenal, and I think this year he wants to show everyone what he's capable of, and still wants to put the young ones into the corner where they belong, what he says.
And after last year's situation, he'll be very hungry, even more, I think. And
yes,
even though he had an injury, you never know how they react, and how many times we have given him and Nadal as dead, and then they struggle with pain, and they put the others in their corners. So
yeah,
we'll see. And what about the girls? What do you think? Because of we have Iga, of course, but are you waiting for some surprises over there? Because it's really a roulette.
Yeah, I think, I mean, Iga goes in as the favorite. The way, if you look at what kind of year she had, she has to be the favorite. She's double amount the points ahead of Ons Jabeur, who's number 2 in the world. And even though Iga, I've been watching her closely in Brisbane. By the way, I've watched the Italians very closely as well, which was unbelievable. And she looks ready. She looks fit. She moves extremely well. She's very focused. She was practicing up a storm there. The only setback was probably losing that match against Pegula. She was in tears afterwards. She was shocked. She didn't have a plan B against her. That cannot happen at the Grand Slam. That's for sure. But she's handled all this occasion, all this pressure so well last year. So I have no doubt she will handle all these occasions well this year. And Pegula played one of the best matches, I think, ever. And I would like to see her doing that again, because if Pegula can play tennis like that, then she probably should be number 1 in the world, and not where she's at now.
Okay. And it's the first Grand Slam after the retirement of 2 legends like Roger and Serena.
Yeah.
And you have interviewed them many times, and you've come to know them quite well. And how much do you think they'll be missed in tennis, on the tennis courts?
how much what was the
will
question?
Be missed on tennis courts.
Oh, how much we will miss them, or what we will miss them a lot. I mean, they have been unbelievable personalities who have been around for the last 20 years. So it's very hard to not have them around anymore. Not just the way they play, also the way they are, you know, as people. But that's unfortunately the way things go. I remember I'm always sad when somebody retires. Of course, these two have been phenomenal tennis players and personalities, but you know, that's the way life goes. I think Roger will definitely stay involved in tennis, definitely with the Laver Cup, but also with some other events. I'm sure down the track we'll see him. I'm not sure about Serena, but she will never forget that tennis has given her so much, opened so many doors. So I do think that we will see her every now and then at an event. And let's not forget, Venus is still around. So one day she will retire, and that's when Serena might be popping up at an event as well. But yeah, of course, it's all very fresh still. So of course we miss them. We compare everyone to Serena and Roger somehow as well, because they've put their stamp on tennis, on the sport of tennis, and everybody around the world know them, even though they don't follow tennis. You know, Serena and Roger, you know the first names, and that says it all.
And question we've been talking about the last 10 years, who will be the heirs of these two legends, or will there be heirs?
Who would you mean? Somebody like
the legacy,
going into their footsteps?
Yes.
Is that what you mean? Well, I mean, that's rough. Well, we still have Nadal and Novak Djokovic, you know, who have won more Grand Slam titles now than Roger Federer. But it was just his elegancy on the court, the way he played, the way he was with people. It's so individual, you know, that I mean, we love, you know, certain things about Rafa and certain things about Novak, but there will be no other Roger. So it's hard, I think, when you say, is there going to be anyone who goes into the footsteps of Serena and Roger? No, definitely not. And I'm not talking about results. I'm talking about just the way they are. And it's good like that, you know. We want to be remembered. Everybody wants to be remembered as a certain individual. And so that's a no from my side. There won't be any.
Okay. Talking about your Eurosport team, which is growing more and more, and what do you expect from your new teammates in the Eurosport team? Talking about Boris or
I don't
Laura
think.
Robson.
I mean, Laura Robson is the newest addition, and for the Australian Open, and also Carla Suarez Navarro. I think it's the first time for her to be there. Everybody else has been around for a while. Well, we all get along extremely well. We don't necessarily see each other because we're so spread out in different countries. Laura and I are the only ones who are going to be in Melbourne. And then obviously we have the Cube in London, and we have our team in Germany, in Italy, in Spain. But we're all connected and we all respect each other extremely well. I think there's a lot of tennis knowledge on different levels as well, which is important. And that's always been like that in our Eurosport team. You know, there's also different generations in that team, and it's a lot of fun. It's hard work, believe it or not, because we have very long days. Especially the people who are in Europe, they literally have to be in front of the camera at 3 a.m. in the morning, and that's not easy. I've done that a couple of years ago, and it's exciting to have such a team. I hope one day we can all be together again on site for the Australian Open and for other Grand Slams, so we actually physically see each other.
And the last question, of course, as always, so what do you think about the Italian guys? Well, what do you think their path will be? Well,
the girls or the guys?
Injuries, but we have, of course, Sinner, Berrettini. What do you think about the Italian guys? What the
well, I mean, as I said to you at the United Cup, I was watching Team Italy very closely. I think Matteo is playing some unbelievable tennis. I mean, he was hitting the ball so well in Brisbane, and then in Sydney he was a little bit unlucky when he lost that match against Tsitsipas. I thought he was going to win that, and then he was really tired against Fritz, but he's going to have a great year. I mean, his serve and his forehand is outstanding. I think the best forehand on the tour. Also the serve is he gets so many free points, and he looks, I hope he has more luck this year, because last year it was a little bit difficult for him. With injuries, and then, you know, food poisoning and COVID and all that stuff. And then Lorenzo Musetti, loved watching him. I love his finesse on the court. I think he's a player. He will also improve. I mean, he has improved out of sight already. He has so many facets in his game. He just has to put them together. I think he has too many options sometimes, but so much fun to watch, because there's always something extraordinary he comes up with. Hopefully his shoulder is okay. I know he had to retire at the United Cup. And then Yannick Sinner, haven't watched him play this year, but I love that he's coached by Darren Cahill. I mean, we know he's capable, Yannick, of really being in the top 5, you know, getting there. Just, I still think that physically he needs to be stronger. I mean, I have to speak to Darren a little bit. Sometimes when I look at Yannick, I feel like he's, you know, he looks like a 15-year-old boy. But then they have each other, and I feel like they actually like each other. They have a good team spirit. They push each other, you know, to be better players, and I think that's what they do. So I think it's going to be an exciting year for the Italian men. On the women's side, I've been watching Trevisan, which she's a phenomenal fighter, really. And I think she really gets the most out of her tennis. You know, she leaves her heart out there on the court. Played an amazing match against Sakari. Against the big guns who have a lot of power, I think it's a bit harder for her, but still she had a close match against Pegula and a close match against Iga Swiatek. She loved that team environment. Bronzetti is the first time I've seen her. She's still raw, she's still young. I think with her, you know, when she plays a full year on the WTA tour, she will learn a lot. I like her determination on the court. They all behave unbelievable well. They have some unbelievable fighting spirit. She was getting a bit nervous because it was all big, you know, playing in that environment with so many stars. But yeah, tennis in Italy, you should be proud of. It's exciting, I think, and it's fun to watch them all because they're all so different.
Yeah, oh, we hope so. It will be a great year for us. We're always waiting. Well, thank you very much.
You're very welcome.